We're going to keep things moving here on the program. Joined by a young lady, as a matter of fact. It's interesting because as you guys may know, if you've heard this show, I'm into wrestling, so I watch Raw, I watch SmackDown. So about a month ago now, I was watching, and there was a tag team duo that was tag team champions actually in NXT that were making their first appearance in WWE on Raw. And I'm looking at one of the wrestlers, Kayden Carter, right? And I'm like, man, she looks familiar to me. So I look her up. Come to find out, she was part of Shaw's the women's national basketball championship team, which of course I called the games for Shaw. Was calling the games back then, still calling the games for Shaw. She makes up one half of the women's tag team in Raw, along with Katana Chance, again, a national champion. She is Kayden Carter. She joins us here on the program. Kayden, what's going on?
What's up?
Man, it's been some years. I couldn't hardly believe what I was seeing when I saw it. I know you guys lost your first match, but you were able to win. You've been able to win one. Matter of fact, I need to mention on Monday, July 10th, she's going to be part of the card for Raw in Charlotte. So you're going to be making a homecoming of sorts, right? But now you were just in Charlotte, back in February?
Yeah, can't get away from it, huh?
So yeah, talk about that 2012 national championship team was being honored, I think, in Hall of Fame induction by the CIAA.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I can get my jersey retired now. I think I qualify. But yeah, no, it was cool. It was I told them when I was there that it's funny how I feel like winning the nationals helped me, a lot in life, and helped was one of those stepping stones just to get me where I'm at now. And it's really cool because I didn't expect for my journey to end up here. When you play basketball, I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this. You think ball is life, and that's what you think your life is gonna be. Is you're gonna play professional basketball, or you're gonna go overseas, or you're gonna do some type of coaching or something like that. When you're a basketball player, I feel like that's the mentality you have. So never in a million years that I think I would deter to wrestling. So I think it's pretty awesome and it's pretty cool.
Oh, it's very cool, right? So I gotta ask, it's some great athletes, right? Like Bianca Belair was a track star. Now, obviously in WWE, you look at Raquel Rodriguez, who was a national champion, like you. I mean, she was a conference champion, played at the Division II and Division I level. Now is in wrestling, and I asked them, how does one go from playing ball, and obviously you're a good athlete, to being now a professional wrestler?
I think it's a different journey for everyone. For me, it's I feel like basketball was a lot of stress on the body, and mentally it wasn't there for me anymore. So I didn't want a 9-to-5 job. I just don't believe that that's what I was meant for in life. That's not saying that it's bad or anything. I'm just saying for me personally, I can't do that. I want to be able to have freedom, make an impact on people's lives, really help people out. And that's what you get to do in the WWE. I mean, we participate in Give Kids the World Village and the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We do a lot of charities with the Boys and Girls Club, and we get to help people all the time. And that's the number one thing that drew me there was, being able to affect the world in a positive way, because I went through a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff at Shaw. There's a lot of stuff in high school that I had to deal with, and I would love to help other people overcome the obstacles they have to get to where they want in life. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, this person just called me. Sorry, I lost you.
Okay. No, we heard you. I got you. Yes.
Okay. So that's what was mainly the thing that drew me there. My friend took me to an NXT show, and I absolutely fell in love. And honestly, looking into it, those are the kind of things that I found out. And then I was like, this fits me perfect. I can still be an athlete. I can still make a positive change. And, it was just something that I absolutely fell in love with. And that's how it all started.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I think about Alexa Bliss was a guest on this show. She was a Division I cheerleader, came into to wrestling. So you said you went to an NXT match, you fell in love with it. So what was the next process? You said, okay, this is something I want to do. So how do you go about going on to this journey as a wrestler, as a professional wrestler?
Yeah, so I just heard, like, I remember going to a show and I heard someone say something about a wrestling school. So then I literally looked up a wrestling school, and then I kind of got intimidated because they were like, just you send them, like, I was like, hey, I want to participate, I want to wrestle. They're like, yeah, just here, pay this money, come to class, and then just jump in. I was like, just jump in. I was like, hold up, wait, no, that doesn't sit well. So then I just took a break from that idea, and then they had a show called Tough Enough. And honestly, I don't know how it works. All I know is I submitted a video, or I made a video. I don't even know if I submitted it, but I made a video, just to like try to like put it out there to see what happens. Obviously that didn't fall through. So a very weird story is I was working at Under Armour, and my former teacher, one of the Dudley boys, Devon Dudley, his son happened to start Under Armour at the same time I did. And then I was just playing around, and like I showed him like my Tough Enough video, and then he was like, well, my dad has a school. And I'm like, who's your dad? He's like, Devon Dudley. I was like, Devon Dudley, what? I was like, okay, like Hall of Famer deal. I was like, okay, like, so me and him became really good friends. His dad saw my video, told me, hey, coming down into school. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I went there, we talked about it. He gave me all the details, and like, whatever. And I can just remember walking in there and saying, like, I want to get into WWE within a year. Like it was very, very like high goals for myself. So I just remember going there and training school, and then eventually they had submitted some stuff, and I got a call for a tryout.
Wow. And then, I mean, that's sort of because what year was that?
That was in 2017, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 6 years later, you're on the Raw brand. You and your partner were actually NXT champion, so you guys were part of the draft. You got drafted.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I remember. And see, I watched the draft, and I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize you at the time. And then but I remember when you guys got drafted from NXT, which I think is really, really cool that they pull up as part of the draft. They pull up some wrestlers from NXT. So you guys were really excited, but take me through how exciting that was when you heard your name called to move up to the Raw brand.
It was unreal. Like I want to say for that month, because like when like the draft is coming up, you have no idea what's going to happen. We worked really hard at NXT, and when we were just sitting there, I just remember hearing Katana's name, and like I was like blacked out. I was like, what's going on? Because you just don't, it's just like it's a difficult position because there's so many great people. You never know what they're looking for, right? Like they could want this and this and that, and what I'm saying, and it may not be you at the time. And the draft only happens once a year, and again, you don't know when it's your time. It's not like people are running around saying, hey, you're gonna get drafted, or like you have any kind of hints that you are, because people don't talk about that. That's something that's talked about. So for us, that was a very real moment, and it like really hit us hard, because her and I have been a team for 4 years, and we've been through a lot of things, and in NXT and just in life together, that we've held each other together for such a long time. And that moment like solidified everything that we went through and everything that we worked for. And I feel like it just seemed like a dream. And even till this moment, I don't even feel like it's real, because it's just everything that I've ever wanted to do. Like when I set that goal 6 years ago, I literally still can't believe that I told myself, this is what I wanted and this is where I want to be. And then I'm here, it just sometimes it doesn't seem real.
Yeah, no, that I mean, that's a great way to put it. So Kayden Carter joins us here on the program, one half of the former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, along with Katana Chance, now, of course, in WWE in the Raw brand. As a matter of fact, check her out this Monday, July 10th, on Raw. As a matter of fact, in Charlotte, so she's going to be back in the Carolinas. How Kayden, did Shaw University prepare you for where you are now, specifically in as a pro wrestler in WWE?
Gosh, it's so many things that molded, and everyone, I can sit here and say that it was just like a Cinderella, story of like you know what I'm saying? Like it just was so great and nice there. But it wasn't. It was a very difficult journey in Shaw because there's a lot of there was this first of all, the CIAA is cutthroat, okay? Like people there are just rough and aggressive and just everyone's in it to win it and just, you know what I'm saying? It's a completely different, you know, transition from like anywhere else you play. I think it's one of the most like I don't want to say like badass. I want to say like just I don't even know the word for it. It's just like it was a lot, right? So it was a lot of also like, you know, expectation because Shaw had a rep as, you know, prior to for me being there. So with all of the new feelings of a different environment for me, I feel like I had to be a leader in the toughest of times when my mental state of mind wasn't the greatest. I had to be strong because our team had a goal, and that was to get to nationals. I mean, the first year we got to the Final Four. Then the next year it was even more of like, we got to do this. I want this. This is what I want in my dream. This is like a goal. So, you know, for me to push even harder through a lot of things, you know, that's the kind of things that prepare you here is because you have to deal with a lot of stuff. You have to travel, you know, you have to put your body on the line. You have to protect another human. You know what I'm saying? You have to take a lot of self-care. And with all those stresses, you still have to be strong for all the people that support you, all the people that are watching you, the show that you put on, you know, like you have to have a strong mentality. And I will say that is that being in Shaw, I grew as a human to be so strong and to hold my own and to become a leader and, you know, just really to take care of myself and, you know, just know that like the work never stops, you know, workhorse all the time and just dedicate yourself and everything that you want is completely possible regardless of the circumstances.
You know, it's interesting. I remember that year in 2012 because I remember it started out, well, it was 2011, 2012, but it started out on the road, Belmont Abbey. Then we ended up going to West Texas, played, I think it was West Texas A&M. Then we played New Mexico. I mean, that game against New Mexico State was a winnable game. I think Shaw lost by 8 points. And New Mexico State is a Division I school. So you knew it was going to be special. That was going to be a special year, and it ultimately did. And it ended in San Antonio with the Lady Bears cutting down the nets, which in of itself, I don't know if a lot of people know about Shaw. Shaw is a very small school, but to me, it is the school that does the most with the least. And to win that national championship was absolutely phenomenal. What do you remember most about that season and specifically winning that national championship?
I feel like we went into it with a lot of people doubting us, but it was funny because in my head and in my heart, we had a team. So the prior year, I think it was like 8 of us who returned back. Like, I don't know if like there was like a lot of us, a handful of us who sat out that first year. And then the next year, like we just kept building on, like where people weren't like able to play it until that 2012 team. So we had already built this bond and people like didn't know about it. Like it was like, it felt like some secret kind of bond because they weren't aware of the skill that was going on here. But I just do remember going into it and they were saying that we were like, we were the underdogs in this game because the other team, Ashland, what were they, 31-0 or something like that? And
something like that.
I can't remember our losses, but we had like a handful of losses. So I remember walking in there and people were just like, oh no, this is gonna have to be like this Cinderella story. And I'm like, look, we got people coming from Division I schools, the top Division I schools. I'm talking about girls were coming from like my best friend was from Appalachian State. Like people were coming from like Kentucky. People were USF. Like, you know, like people were all deep, like big D1 schools. And I was just in my head, I'm like, do people not do their research? I was like, because if these people are like top caliber, like level, you know, I had faith in us. But when we were there, this is a funny story as well. We played Rollins in the Final Four. And I really wanted to go to Rollins, Winter Park, you know, my hometown. And I never got a shot there. Like they didn't even take like one look at me to like go there. You know what I'm saying? But all my friends played there. And that was who we played in the Final Four. And like, obviously coach had a great strategy, you know, starting 3 post players, 2 point guards. no one could hang with us, beat them by like 25, like
Yeah.
in a 5-4, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it was like, to me, it was like, it sucked because my friends, you know, obviously they're sad and whatever, but it was a sweet revenge because it was like, oh, you should have picked me up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's fine. It was a lot. It was, again, another surreal moment because it doesn't feel that way. I remember, I believe it was double overtime that we went into with them. And like, it was just like, it felt like a real battle. It felt like just one that we were giving everything we possibly could in that game, you know what I'm saying? And try to prove ourselves. And, you know, at the end of the day, we did it. And, you know, we worked just that much harder just to prove everybody, you know, that we weren't the underdogs. We were actually the strongest team all along, you know?
No, I think it's a great point because you're right. It was like Shaw had it in regulation and then it went to overtime and we're like, oh Lord, but continue to fight, and it was great. Again, Kayden Carter joins us here on the program. Check her out this Monday, July 10th on Raw. She is one half of the tag team with Katana Chance. So again, the team was inducted, the national championship team for Shaw, as you know, was inducted into the CIAA Hall of Fame in 2012. You guys were honored at the CIAA tournament in February. And it's interesting because when I called Coach Curtis after I saw you on Raw, I'm like, I can't, this is crazy. And he just was like so proud, right? Because you were one of his players and now you're doing what you're doing. So what kind of reaction do you get when people remember you having played at Shaw and now understand that you are part of WWE?
I get a lot of support. You know, I think it's like people didn't really realize that that was like the direction. Like, you know, it's just kind of unexpected because I tell people like there's so many people, like thousands and thousands of people who would love to be a part of WWE, and only a few hundred get to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's something like really special. And I think that like, again, it comes to a shock to most people because they're just sitting there and they turn on the TV and they're like, oh shoot, like I know her, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I think it's very like more so unexpected for everyone else. Like, you know, and again, they become very supportive once they find out, and they love, you know, the Shaw representation and stuff like that. So it's pretty fun when people figure it out or find out or get to see me.
Yeah, of course the HBCU brand has become very, you know, popular. I mean, we already knew, but I'm just saying across you know, various landscapes, maybe the last 3 or 4 years. I know, I think WWE had like some NIL deals with a couple of athletes and stuff like that. But like, what does it mean to you to be an HBCUer and part of now this big, huge global brand in WWE?
It's a great feeling because I feel like people don't the awareness of certain things, and like, you know, like let's just say the school in general, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's a small school, but there's a lot of positive and memorable, like, you know, marks from that school that people like may not be aware about. So like if I'm in the light and then people look at my background, they're able to look up the school and like the kind of things like that the school represents, you know, and like the past and the history and like where it's come, you know. I feel like for me, I feel it's an amazing opportunity just to share like the stories of people who've come through there and the success and just the kind of amazing people that help mold us to get to where we're at. You know, I've had a lot of great teachers and support there, you know, and so just getting to like and just getting to highlight that through my career and having that be allowed to show through what I do, you know, it kind of means a lot. You know, and I just hope that people can raise awareness to a lot of other things and new worlds for other people.
Kayden Carter joining us here in the program. So have you played WWE 2K23? You're in the game.
I am. I'm a video game character, guys. It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, it is, right?
Again, it is all like so like unreal, but like I said, going to Shaw, playing basketball, like thinking that basketball was my entire life. I remember spending, when I was in high school, spending every day from day to night just in the gym, wanting to get picked up to play, waiting there all day just to play one game, like the last pick of every game. And, you know, just spending my life thinking that basketball was everything to me. You know what I'm saying? I literally did nothing, just try to go all to the camps and everything. And again, I didn't think that it would come to all of this. Like, it's hard to always put that together, like all the things that I've ever been through, and that like I'm in a video game now, like forever. Someone's gonna be able to play my game character, you know what I'm saying? Which is gonna be awesome. When I have kids, my kid is gonna be able to play me as a video game character, you know, and it's just a really surreal feeling still, you know. I can't say that enough. It's crazy.
Yeah. So what is it? You know, what is it like, this rise? Now you're in, you know, now you're at you were in NXT, you know, trying to get to this level. You're at the highest level. You know, you and Katana starting to pick up more matches. You want a match, like I mentioned. You got a match up this upcoming Monday on July 10th back in Charlotte, or back in the Carolinas.
No, don't quote me on that. I'm not sure if I have a match yet. We're gonna speak that to existence.
Okay.
Not sure. We'll be there though. But I will say this. Okay, so I have to put this out there. Yeah. A lot of people have said, like, you know, you guys debuted and you lost. I don't take it as a loss. We debuted against two of the best women in the industry. Okay, the baddest one on the planet, and one of the four horsewomen, Shayna Baszler, and we hung toe to toe with them. And for us, our first match on Raw, we almost this close to beating them. We hit our finisher, you know, some things didn't happen, but we put ourselves on the map, which means people should feel not threatened, but know that we're not here to play. Okay. If we came that close to two of the top women in that company, that means we're a force to be reckoned with, because we have so much more to offer. And it was only our first rodeo. Right now, we're just going to keep picking up steam. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like for us, it's just a win. People can say what they want. I take nothing away from that match, but great things, because we scared them. We scared those girls. They were scared for 1 second, you know. But us being here on the main roster and trying to get steam, like I told Devon the other day, I said, listen, I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna get us in the Hall of Fame. I want to be the best tag team in WWE history. Like, my goal is to leave a legacy with me and Katana. Like, we want to prove that we can be one of the most innovative and creative teams that has ever been seen. We want to help elevate the women's tag division. You know, we want to make our own evolution in the tag division. And, you know, we're real life best friends, and we want to do it together and just cement that. And like I said, I want to catch my mentors, Bubba and Devon. You know, I want to live up to that expectations, make them proud, and, you know, just follow in that footsteps, you know?
Yeah. And I think can you speak a little bit more to the women's division? Because that is really, there are any number of women that are absolute stars in WWE. That division is really on the rise. It was been on the rise.
So everyone wants to talk about the women's division not being a strong division, and they like, and it just depends on who's talking about it. You know what I'm saying? But with people like Katana and myself, like, we really want to help to make people care even more about it. You know what I'm saying? We want to make it exciting and where it has some kind of value. Because there isn't a lot of tag teams right now. You know, like, everyone says, like, oh, these teams just get thrown together. There's no real teams. Like, yeah, Katana and I are pretty much like the only real team that there is, because that's what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think everyone walks in there in the goal and is like tag team wrestling. You know what I'm saying? But for us, that's where we're trying to like cement our legacy. Would I want to go for the Raw Women's Championship one day? Of course. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to hold my own, but also create, you know, what we want to as a unit. You know, there's just so many paths. I don't want to hold any limits to ourselves, but we're trying to set one bar together, and then we can worry about the bars that we want to set for ourselves, you know? And so with that, I think that the tag division is becoming stronger, and I feel like people will start to see and believe in it again. And, you know, it's going to be something great. I feel like people don't really truly understand right now, but I think it's going to be awesome.
What's daily life like for you with training and all of the, what's sort of that like for you?
Oh man, it's a lot. It's like I have to find time. So we're usually flying on Sundays. We have shows on Mondays, fly back in on Tuesday. The flights don't get delayed. I come back at a good time on Tuesday, but then, you know, I try to get myself situated. I have two little nightmares of dogs that I have to take care of. You know, I have to get like everything that I need for myself done, or the rest. And then the next couple days, I try to train. I try to stay in the ring. I try to go to the gym as well as that, and maybe get a little bit of another workout on top of like spending time with my family as much as I can and being there for all the activities they need me for, whether it be a birthday. I have a very big family, so there's always a birthday, there's always some kind of celebration. And that's pretty much it. That's like my life on repeat right now, is just, we go to the gym early, try to go to the ring. So that's a couple hours in the gym, couple hours in the ring, and then whatever daily errands I need to do, whether it be food prep and all that stuff, really spending time with my dogs, because now I'm away from them a lot more than I used to be. And just making sure like my life is all together before the next time that I travel.
And you know what? We're going to speak it into existence. So what do you think Monday's going to be like, right? You're in Charlotte, where you're in the Carolinas, or North Carolina specifically, where you played ball, where you won a national championship. You won the CIAA tournament in Charlotte. You got inducted. Team got inducted into the Hall of Fame just in February in Charlotte. What do you think that's going to be like?
I don't. It's gonna definitely bring back memories. I hope that there's something that's going on. Because I feel like the feelings that I had when we won, and just that like the adrenaline and all of those like nerves and feelings of excitement would come back, especially when you're in a place where a lot of special things happen. It was twice we won it there. So there's a lot of good things to be said, and so like I just think it's gonna be like a magical feeling. I've always loved Charlotte, you know what I'm saying? So like, actually, what if I even No, that wasn't in Charlotte. I was like, who are you for that? I was just in Charlotte. I was like, no, it wasn't. But yes, it'd be an amazing feeling, I think, because I mean, nothing but great things have happened every time I go to Charlotte. That's all I gotta say, is nothing but great things. So I think that it's just gonna continue on to be that way for me. So I'm very excited for that.
No doubt about it. Well, Kayden Carter is a collegiate national championship, going back to her days as a Shaw Lady Bear, the 2012 national champions. As a matter of fact, again, we're going to speak it into existence. She's going to be in Charlotte regardless this Monday, July 10th. She teams with Katana Chance. They are former NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, looking to be Raw Women's Champions, as a matter of fact, as well, as she joins us here on the program. Real quick, last thought. Moves, like what is your best move? What is the move that you're most known for?
The move. So as a unit, we're known for our move called the after party. It is a neck breaker into a 450 splash from the top rope. So that is our finish, and that is what people would probably best know us for.
Yeah, and that like some of these moves when you first started getting into, was there fear of like getting hurt?
Always. Our last match on NXT was the first time off the top rope I ever did a backflip. But my best friend was there with me, so we did a double Spanish fly off the top rope, and that was my first time, and I was scared, but I did it. You know what I'm saying? Because like, in the moment, the fear goes out the window. If you ask me right now, would I do something that scares me? No, I would not. But if you ask me in the moment, like adrenaline kicks in and I'm just like, yes, go. Like, let's go. I won't think about it. I'll do it right away. But for us, I think it's a little bit more where we have to be careful because, like I said, I'm not lying when I say we are probably the most creative and innovative tag team that people have ever seen. And the things that we do require so much precision, and we practice so hard to get things right in case they go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, Casey is phenomenal. Like, she has the ability to, if something was to go wrong, her red instinct, it just kicks on, and she just can make anything work however it is and make it look smooth and natural. You know what I'm saying? She has a great ability to do that. She is a tremendous athlete, and a lot of people sleep on her because I've seen her do things that I've never seen anyone else do or attempt to do, and it's just, for us, I'd say there's a big fear, but in the moment, no way, Jose. But right now, yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Kayden, again, check her out this Monday, July 10th in Charlotte on on Raw, which airs on USA. As a matter of fact, Kayden Carter joining us here on the program. Kayden, great to catch up with you after all these years. Continued success in all you do.
Yeah, you better be at that show. Just letting you know.